What's up, guys? It's Chris. These are the top 10 survivor perks you need in Dead by Daylight. Almost all of these perks could use a nerf in some way or another because of how game-changing they really are. Before we fully get into it, I want to give honorable mentions to Shoulder the Burden and Deliverance because they are two genuinely game-breaking perks. I just don't see them getting anywhere near their peak value in a solo queue setting, so I don't want to include them in this video. But these two perks genuinely are some of the best in the entire game, probably two of the three best perks in the entire game, not just for Survivor. To kick off the video, at number 10, we have Vigil, a perk belonging to Quentin Smith, which was recently way overbuffed. Exhaustion perks have been meta for pretty much a decade, and now Behavior decided to really buff Vigil, which makes Exhaustion even stronger. Vigil decreases the duration of every single negative effect that can be applied to survivors, including blindness, broken, exhausted, exposed, hemorrhage, hindered, mangled, and oblivious by 40%, and this also translates to teammates that are nearby. The effect also continues for 15 seconds even when people leave a 16-meter range of you. This perk can also stack, meaning if multiple survivors are running it, the cooldowns will be massively reduced. All in all, I would say use this perk while you can because I can only imagine it'll get nerfed eventually if Behavior knows what they're doing at all. At number 9, we have Unbreakable, belonging to Bill Overbeck, which has been meta for a very long time. This perk can single-handedly change the entire tide of a game. The only reason it's so low on this list is because you're not going to be seeing value from it in every single match you're in. It allows you to pick yourself up once per trial at very high speeds, but also even if you pick yourself up once, you'll still be able to recover extremely quickly for the rest of the trial, meaning somebody else can pick you up much faster. It is the peak anti-slugging perk in the game, and it does completely counter it if you're using it well, so make sure to throw this in your builds if you don't like slugging. Comboing it with something like Soul Guard just makes you also get a free health state when you're picked up off the ground. There are times in DBD where a killer just has to slug to be able to get the pressure they need to win, and this perk just says, I don't think so. At number 8, we have Adrenaline, which you can get from leveling up Meg Thomas. This perk allows you to just stick the last gen in the killer's face because you will get a free health state once you pop that gen. Because the effect is after the last generator pops, you get healed 1 health state and get a massive speed boost. Again, even just one of these can completely save a game. Say the killer's slugging and the last teammate pops a gen. You get picked up off the ground and get a massive speed boost. Maybe you can go save another teammate. It just robs the killer of so much pressure in a really close game, and it's essential to have in a build if you're really sweaty. The speed boost also completely ignores the exhausted status effect, meaning if you use sprint burst right before adrenaline pops, the sprint burst will be lasting a very long time because that's the extra effect you get from the adrenaline. It's also just a great perk to have if your team's already winning and you're a really solid looper, and at the end of the game, this killer's chasing you, and you will just be able to buy as much time as you need to be able to get your teammates to open the gates. At number 7 is Balanced Landing, which is a situational exhaustion perk belonging to Nia Carlson. This perk has 2 effects which are in their own rights both extremely strong. The first effect is that when this perk is active, if you fall from a great height, there is no staggering at all, which is insanely strong. On top of that, when you do fall from a great height, you get that exhaustion, which is 150% speed for 3 seconds. This could definitely be reduced, and I think it should be because the double effects are just too powerful. And realistically, this perk can just bail you out of a really sticky situation. Say you pathed poorly to a top of a main building that you shouldn't have that had nothing in it. You can just drop down and get a mile away from the killer. Same thing as just running to a Pride Rock in a dead zone. This can just bail you out in the same way. It is extremely powerful. You're not going to get value out of it every single game because there are a couple maps that don't have great drops. But in most maps, there's something you can drop off of, and even if you can't, sometimes it can get you that little extra speed you need to get that basement save. Number 6 is a perk that has been in the top spots since its release, belonging to Laurie Strode, Decisive Strike. Decisive Strike is a ridiculously powerful anti-tunneling perk, which makes it so that if the killer tries to pick you up within 60 seconds of you being unhooked, you can hit the skill check and it will stun them for 4 seconds and you get another chance at life. Now, this perk is so strong that even if you don't have it, killers will usually be put off from tunneling you because it is just that good, and it can buy so much time that if a killer eats it at the wrong time, they will just lose the game automatically. 4 even decent survivors running this perk will make it an absolute nightmare for the killer to try and win. It is that strong. It does require you to hit a skill check to get it activated, so it's not as free as a lot of the perks in this list, but it is still extremely strong. Just practice your skill checks a little bit and it will get mega value in your games if you're being tunneled. And it is also pretty solid comboed with our next perk, Off the Record, the 5th best survivor perk in the game, belonging to Zarina. Off the Record is another extremely powerful anti-tunnel perk, but it also has effects even after you perform a conspicuous action on survivor. So not only do you get 80 seconds of endurance if you do not touch a gen or heal a teammate, even after you do one of those things, you will get 80 seconds of no aura reading from the killer and 80 seconds of a built-in fully 100% Iron Will. Off the Record may just be the most overloaded perk in the entire game, and it is insanely strong. No matter what situation you're in, you are super broken off of a hook. The only reason this perk isn't higher on this list is because our next 4 perks are just getting you constant value in the game for free with 0 downside and without having to be earned in any way. And this perk does have a timer, even if it's a massive one, so those perks definitely get the edge. Number 4 is going to be Deja Vu, which is a perk that just comes with the game. You don't need to level up any survivors to get access to it. Deja Vu shows you the 3 generators closest to each other for the entire game. Right at the start, it shows you the 3 closest to each other, and then after one of those pops, it'll show you the next 3 closest to each other, and you will be doing gens permanently 6% faster the entire match. The amount of time that 6% saves you is nothing to stick your nose up at, but on top of that, the amount of time that you will save just permanently being able to beeline to a gen without having to guess where it is on some of those maps that can be a little tricky to find one, like Midwich, is huge. This perk also combines for ridiculous value with something like a toolbox, or even our next perk, or some other gen speed perks like Prove Thyself, to be able to blast gens completely for free. If you're not someone who has the gen spawns completely memorized for every single map in the game, this is a perk that will get massive value for you and make you one of the most efficient teammates your teammates have ever seen. Now, before we get into the top 3 survivor perks in the game, I do just want to make a quick reminder that I do stream every single day over on Twitch. If you guys want to come in and hang out in there with me, I would love to see you guys there. We play both killer and survivor, mainly killer, but we do a lot of swifting on the stream as well. Number 3 is Resilience, which is another common perk, which means, again, it just comes with the game. When you buy it, you don't have to level up anybody to get access to it. This perk, again, is probably one of the most overloaded perks in all of Dead by Daylight. Just simply for being injured as a survivor, you get 9% additional speed to repairing generators, sabotaging hooks, healing teammates, healing yourself, unhooking, vaulting, cleansing totems, or blessing a totem, opening the gates, or unlocking chests for free. There is absolutely 0 downside to running this perk. It is completely overtuned, and it even allows you to 99% your heal, meaning that you'll be getting the full value from this perk at 0 risk, because if you see the killer coming, you can just finish off that heal in half of a second and you're good to go. This does mean that combining this perk with something like a med kit does make it completely OP, but without it, even then, it is an extremely powerful perk. Sometimes you just can't quite get healed in the game, and it does give you that benefit of staying injured, saving your team time, healing you, and buying you more time by doing gens and everything much, much faster. Coming in at the number 2 spot, which is probably no surprise to any of you, is Sprint Burst from Meg Thomas. Sprint Burst gives you a 150% speed boost for holding the shift key for 3 seconds, and you can use this an unlimited amount of times throughout the game, meaning you will buy tons of time for your team in chase, every single chase, if you're managing it correctly. Strong survivors will have this 99 throughout the entire game, meaning when they go for a save, they're completely safe. If they're going for a gen, they're completely safe. If they're looking to make sure they can get a pallet save or a flashlight save for a teammate, they are primed and ready to go with a massive speed boost whenever they want it. If they're in a bit of a sticky spot and the killer thinks they got a free hit, they can just have that sprint burst ready to go and just sprint halfway across the map. And even if the killer isn't even looking in your direction, it'll just help you get to the next gen faster, which with something like Deja Vu is going to be buying your team so much time and chase additively over time that the killer's just not going to be able to keep up. Overall, an extremely good perk in Dead by Daylight that you can't go wrong with, no matter the map, no matter the game. There's a couple killers like Nurse Blight that can kind of make it look not as good, but I mean, mean, after these last 3 perks, you're probably sitting there wondering what perk could be better than Off the Record, Deja Vu, Resilience, or Sprint Burst. And in my opinion, Lithe is the #1 perk in Dead by Daylight. It is the easiest perk to activate in the entire game, and if you simply vault a window and run in a straight line and chase, it will buy you 20 seconds minimum against any killer that relies on M1ing. This is an absolutely absurd amount of time for vaulting something and not having to earn it, plus its uses throughout the game are infinite. You can combo this with something like Vigil to basically permanently have it up and use this total freebie to get through the gates. It's also a perk that you don't have to dedicate any brain power to using like you would with Sprint Burst, having to think about 99ing it to get value. It's just up, you see pallet, you vault pallet, you see window, you vault window, and you're across the map. Chase perks in DBD really are just ridiculous, and this one takes the cake at the #1 spot, in my opinion, only because literally any survivor could queue up with this perk and get massive value with it without having to think about it too much. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button if you did, and comment down below what your personal favorite perk in Dead by Daylight is. I'd love to hear from all you guys. Hopefully this could help you if you're new to the game, figuring out which perks to prioritize getting first, because there are a ton of options in Dead by Daylight. So either way, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.